Oleg Zhigankov. What is hidden in the Ring of Power? Have you ever wondered what the Ring of Power in John Tolkien's celebrated novel really represents? In this new short series, we'll touch upon many amazing secrets that John Tolkien hides behind the mystery of the Ring of Power. Your first reaction may be, this can't be. Yes, there are things that are very difficult to accept. So, what is this stunning, unexpected truth about this ring? What does it really represent? What hides behind the Ring of Omnipotence, which people of goodwill are destined to destroy at due time, if they are lucky enough? I have not read about this anywhere, but this inconvenient truth opens one's eyes not only to this book, but also to the events around us. I think you will be very surprised and even outraged to learn that in the image of this ring, Tolkien, a deeply religious man and a diligent churchgoer, encrypted religion. A brief history of the ring. I'll read this poem that you probably know. 3 rings for the elven kings under the sky, 7 for the dwarf lords in the halls of stone, 9 for mortal man doomed to die, 1 for the dark lord on his dark throne, in the land of Mordor, where the shadows lay. 1 ring to rule them all, 1 ring to find them, 1 ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them, in the land of Mordor, where the shadows lay. All the rings, except the last one, signified talents and gifts given to the angels and to the people of various nations of the earth. They are angelic gifts given to the elves and applied gifts, scientific and technological, given to the dwarfs, the wise men of this world. There are also other human gifts such as courage, honor, bravery, joy, research, science, hard work, perseverance, etc. All these gifts are designed to make life easier, to make it better, but all of them can, under certain circumstances, mainly under the influence of the last ring of omnipotence of power, they can puff up, make proud, greedy, liars, and sometimes cruel and violent. Gifts to people and dwarfs primarily mean various talents, such as music, technology, sports, arts, etc., which can be used for good or evil, but the rings given to the elves are more likely spiritual gifts that are given first to the angels and then to the children of God. Such gifts as the gift of faith, healing, long life, miracle working, speaking in angelic tongues, etc. But I do not want to focus on these rings today, but on the one ring that is capable of putting all the good side of the talents to the service of evil and silencing spiritual gifts. We need to see this ring, this dead fly in the ointment that spoils the whole barrel of precious anointing oil or honey. All the God-given talents and gifts, peoples and angelic. Let me remind you very briefly the history of this ring of power. The One Ring first appeared in the book The Hobbit. Later, Tolkien developed the story of this ring and 19 other rings, including 3 rings of the elves, 7 rings of the dwarves, and 9 rings of men. The most powerful was the one ring secretly created by the Dark Lord Sauron, forged by him. All the rings of power had the property of slowing down the fading of the bearer's lives, because this is the property of spiritual gifts. The one ring and the 9 rings of men also gave invisibility and the ability to see the invisible world. But this world was frightening, restless, low vibrational. If the ring of power was active. And the bearers of the ring were transformed into a semblance of this low vibrational world. They were changed into the darkness. Tolkien reveals to the reader the behavior of different characters when tempted by the power of the One Ring, from the humble gardener Sam Gamgee to the mighty elven queen Galadriel, from the brave warrior Boromir to Gollum, corrupted by the ring. Tolkien wrote that the Lord of the Rings was, I quote, a study in the application of power to external objects, end of quote. But what kind of power are we talking about? After all, Gandalf's miracle working is a power, and the elves or angels have power. Aragorn has power. What kind of power is hidden in the One Ring? The Fisherman's Ring. And here Tolkien had to be extremely careful. He had to simultaneously reveal and conceal what is a super task, the implementation of which is available only to a genius, which Tolkien is. Tolkien took the most important and most obvious and most literal image, the prototype of the Ring of Power, and so boldly and unexpectedly presented it in his novel that it seems no one remembered, recognized, or could have imagined that the zealous Catholic John Tolkien would present the Ring of the Fisherman through this ring, that is, the Ring of Omnipotence of the Pope of Rome. From the moment of its first appearance in history, associated with fishermen and fishing, it was during fishing that this ring was found in the novel, and to the moment of its destruction, which is possible only in the very heart of Mordor, and the entire history of the ring and all its properties and features, power and attraction, all this points to the one and only one, the greatest ring of papal power for any Catholic, the Ring of Fishermen, the Ring of the Pope, the Ring of Religion. And we will consider, at least briefly, in this small series of publications, these obvious and incredible aspects. According to Wikipedia, the Ring of the Fisherman, in Latin Annulus Piscatoris, also known as Piscatory Ring, is an official part of the regalia worn by the Pope, who, according to Catholic theology, is the head of the Catholic Church and successor of Saint Peter, who was a fisherman by trade. It used to feature a bas-relief of Peter fishing from a boat, a symbolism derived from the tradition that the apostles were fishers of men. Since at least the Middle Ages, it has been a tradition for Catholics meeting the Pope to show their devotion by kissing the ring. A new ring is cast for each Pope as a general practice in tradition around the relief image is the reigning Pope's Latin name. Upon a papal death, the ring is ceremonially destroyed using a hammer in the presence of other cardinals by the Camerlengo. According to this custom, 2 deep cuts in the shape of a cross are applied on the signet with a chisel. Only the cross cancels the ring of power. Let us now briefly recall John Tolkien's ring narrative. This ring was found, it was not made, but discovered when 2 friends were fishing. The ring had existed in previous ages, giving birth, so to say, to Babylon the Great, with the fall of which it was lost. But now the ring was discovered by fishermen. Smeagol received the ring by killing his friend Diagol, with whom he was fishing. Diagol found the ring in the Anduin River. Gollum later told everyone that the ring was given to him for his birthday. He called the ring my precious, or simply precious. In many ways, this image is taken from the biblical opening plot, according to which Cain kills his brother Abel out of envy and desire to possess his gifts. Cain, as it is said, requested a certain sign so that he would not be killed or attacked, but to rule and prevail. And God has given him this sign. In this are the origins of religion as an institution of power of the Cainites. In our following series, we'll touch on some interesting details that Tolkien provides for those who, as the true pathfinders, are searching for the signs, for the pieces of the truth that have been scattered around the novel, only to be gathered as the pieces of mosaic or a giant puzzle into the most insightful panoramic picture of the past, present, and future history of the humankind. And the Ring of Power plays a key role in this mosaic. We are yet to see how John Tolkien had made the ring's significance and understanding for a while invisible, just as the ring would turn invisible the one who wears it. The best is yet to come.